7 for Monster Mania? That's what I said, year 27? 27. All right, well, we should all give a big thanks to Dave Hagen, man. Seriously. Dave, putting this show on, 27 years. But I was here 4, 5, 6 years ago, or whenever I was last here, if someone would have said, okay, in 5 years, there'll be no video stores left in this country. None of the big chains will exist anymore. And you're going to be doing this streaming thing, and kind of explain what's going on. And someone would have told me that there'd be an outfit called Netflix where you could access 50,000 movies for $8. I'd say that's crazy. What's the value of a movie in a weird way? If you can access a good ton of movies for no money, but that's the world we live in. And it's cool. It has its cool things as well, and I know there are a lot of die-hard DVD and Blu-ray people like me, because I love that Blu-ray and I love putting it in the machine, but I've gotten lazy. You sit there with that streaming thing and all you have to do is work your thumb, as opposed to getting up, taking that Blu-ray, putting it in the machine. What a hassle. You're looking at me like he's crazy. It's not so bad. But so anyway, it's a bummer though, because as a filmmaker, what I would do, and we've done this pretty successfully now for forever, is you make a movie and you promote it, and then you ship out tens of thousands of units to all those video stores that are no longer Blockbuster in Hollywood and Tower Records and The Warehouse, and they would put them on their shelves, and that's how we all, me included, discovered all these cool movies. You discovered my movies that way over so many years, and I discovered other films, and that local video store is gone. It's just really weird. So it's tough for filmmakers because what do? How do you spend the money and then get the movie out and make sure you guys can see it? And it's really actually kind of sad that we can make a movie now, unless we find a new way to deliver it, which we're obviously working on. There's no chance of any of you guys seeing it. People think, well, whatever happened to Full Moon? Well, it's what happened to your local video store. It's just not there anymore. So who would have thought this even 4 years ago? So what I did when I saw all this coming, and some of you know because I've met some of you today and yesterday at our booth, what I did is I said, well, let me do our own little Netflix thing. And I started Full Moon Streaming, which I'm really proud of. Are some of you members here? Yeah. All right. Which means most of you aren't, which is awesome, because I'm going to do everything I can to bring you on board. And what's cool about it is, well, first of all, obviously, online and iPads and mobile, you can get it that way. We just went up on Roku a few weeks ago, so that's cool. Roku's awesome. And we're going to be on Xbox in about a month, and then PlayStation in 2 months, and little by little we'll be on all these platforms. But the cool thing that I find, putting aside the bummer of the video store being gone, is first we can it's like the Full Moon store. We have so many, or the Full Moon video store I should say. We already have almost 200 movies up. I'm able to take things out of the vault that I was never able to really release before, because sometimes it wasn't even worth it to put on DVD. So as an example, I was the first guy, for those of you who are a little older, in 1990 to create something called the Video Zone, right? It was at the end of... No one wanted to do that. It was and I tried to convince Paramount. They were real dickheads. I said, dudes, it's cool. The fans are going to like it. They'll see the movie, and then they'll see how the movie was made and how the effects were done and all that stuff, and nah. So we did it, and that became a very popular thing. We got literally thousands of letters from people saying, even sometimes, the movie was cool, but the Video Zone was way better than the movie. It's okay. But for instance, for every Video Zone we made, and for every cut down 10 minutes making up, let's say, Subspecies or Puppet Master 3, I shot 4 or 5 hours of material, and I always wanted that original raw footage for you guys to see it, but there was no real practical way. So now, as an example, on Full Moon Streaming, it's all there. We're putting it up every week, tons of material. So for instance, if you're into Subspecies, we were in Romania in the early 90s. We probably shot between all the Subspecies films 40 hours of footage, and just what it was like in Romania and Transylvania and how weird it was right after the revolution. All that stuff now is up on the site. And on the site, of course, there's Full Moon and all the Full Moon movies, more coming up every week. We have Wizard, which is kind of weird, my old Wizard label, some of those movies, and some new releases too from filmmakers like some of you out here. We have the Moonbeam label, like Prehysteria and all those shows, if you remember those back in the 90s, and we're putting those up slowly but surely. And then what excites me the most, and I'm going to show you something on it in a second, is I've been a big fan of Grindhouse movies, And I mean, I made a few, I guess, because I somehow existed back then, but I'm not sure how, because I'm in total denial. But I've also acquired the movies over the years, and just recently I did a deal with a company called Blue Underground. They have movies, everything from The Blind Dead to Succubus, some of the coolest Grindhouse movies ever, and we made an exclusive deal, and all their movies are now going up on Grindhouse. So all this is under full moon. And it's ridiculous because it's like $6 a month, right? So it's like not gonna hurt anyone when you spend so much money going to these big overblown stupid movies in the theaters today. $12, $13, $14, $15 to sit there for 3 hours, it's like, and that's it. So, I mean, some of them are good and some of them are bad. I'm a big CGI hater, you know, so you keep going to the same movie with the same effects. And you know, hundreds of people are creating these cartoony effects. I don't want to get off on a tangent. I like the real stuff. So anyway, Grindhouse is awesome, and all these movies are all under full moon streaming. So before I continue and do bizarre things, let me show you. You're gonna have to take, there's a whole rigmarole here that we had set up before the fire broke loose. And I'll show you a little bit of kind of the vibe of what Grindhouse is for me. So check it out. You should turn that off. I'll be right back.